Hello viewers, welcome back to the third session of economics lecture series. In this one, however, we'll look into an important element of macroeconomics, that is national income, and how a nation describes and examines it. The major concepts of national income includes gross domestic product, gross national product, net domestic product, net national product, etc. In my previous video, I have already explained about GDP with its definition, contributions of Indian GDP, calculations and contributors of different Indian sectors in detail. From that, you can understand GDP is all about the value of goods and services produced within the borders of the country, either from own residents or from foreign residents. Next, coming to the GNP, this is nothing but the value of goods and services produced by own residents, either in the country or in abroad. So, the respective country considers the own residents' production in and around the country. But, same time, we should not consider the production value by foreign nations within the borders of the country. This is a variant of GDP in the following way. After consolidating foreign value of production, the GNP can be calculated with GDP plus income earned by Indians abroad minus income earned by foreigners in India. Usually GDP is higher than GNP in India. For the reason, India receives more investment from other countries than it makes in them. The third element, net domestic product, usually called as NDP, is a measure of national income which calculates the value of goods and services involving the consumption and the reduction of the assets referred to as depreciation. Whenever we calculate net value from gross value, we subtract depreciation. Therefore, net domestic product is calculated by subtracting depreciation from the gross domestic product. Similarly, net national product can be calculated by subtracting depreciation by GNP. To know more details about NNP, this is a collective income earned by nationals of a country in a given time period. This can be derived with the following steps. First, GDP at market price minus depreciation is considered as NDP at market price. In next step, NDP at market price again minus factor income earned by foreigners in India plus factor income earned by Indians abroad is equal to NNP at market price. Then finally, NNP at market price minus indirect taxes plus subsidies is considered as NNP at factor cost. Hence, we consider NNP at factor cost as standard measurement to describe national income. So, NNP at factor cost is nothing but a net national income. When national income is distributed among the population of the country, that results average income or per capita income. Per capita income is better indicator of economic development than GDP. But per capita income suffers with its own limitations. For example, 10% of national income is distributed among 90% of population and 90% of national income is cornered by 10% of population. Hence, the calculation of per capita income will not show the disparities of the country. Due to averaging the income like this, we can't identify any income inequalities. And we know why generally it is important to calculate national income. But national income also represents some other aspect of country's society and economy. So basically, national income reflects on distribution of resources over the earth, and it also checks the efficiency in resource utilization and observes the stability of the government, functioning of institution of a nation, and identifying skill set of people, observing regional imbalances and internal development considerations. But there are also some difficulties in measuring national income. First, we see that prevalence of non-monetized transactions. As we know, India is most dependent country on agriculture. So agriculture, in which a major part of output is consumed at farm level itself. So the national income calculation therefore has to face the problem of finding a suitable measure for this part of output. And second is illiteracy. The majority of people in India are illiterate and they don't keep any accounts about the production and sales by this product. So under these circumstances, the estimation of production and earned incomes are simply guesswork. To go further, occupational specialization lagging. Besides the crops, farmers are also engaged in supplementary operations like dairy, poultry, cloth making, etc. But income from such productive activities is not involved in the national income estimation. Next, we see lack of availability of adequate statistical data. So, adequate and correction of cost data are also not available in our country. So, data in consumption and investment expenditures of the rural and urban populations are not available. Moreover, there is no machinery for the collection of data in the country. Next, to see calculation of depreciation. There are not accepted standard rate of depreciation applicable to the various categories of machines and assets. Unless from gross national income correct deductions are made for depreciation, the estimate of net national income found to go wrong. And some difficulties of avoiding double counting system. For example, best way, the value of the output of sugar and sugarcane are counted separately. The value of sugarcane utilized in the manufacturing of sugar will have been counted twice, which is not proper. So it is not very easy to maintain a count for only a single time in this vast economy. Next, difficulty of expended method. The application of expenditure method is difficult task because it is difficult to estimate all personal as well as investment expenditures. Next, exclusion of real transactions. The items which are purchased and sold through the open market like mass market are included, and all direct sales of various goods and services are excluded from national income. Next, the value of leisure. We give more preference to spend on our leisure, but the satisfaction we get from recreational activities and other uses of our leisure time are also not included in that calculation. Further, cost of environmental damage. The cost of environmental damage are not subtracted from the market value of final products when NI is calculated, but which we need to consider more for our future economic development. Other than these, there are some other minor difficulties also, such as valuation of government services and imputed income, self-consumption, changes in the inventories, and underground economy. With this, we have finished about national income in details, and wait for the next video which is on inflation. Thank you.